Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, House of Glory presents High Intensity. The show happened on, what, Friday night? Friday night was 26th, wasn't it? Yep, happened Friday night along with ROH Death Before Dishonor. So I wasn't able to watch them both at the same time, which I've done in the past. So I went ahead and watched this House of Glory show earlier today. Overall, great show. I love the fact that we have so much talent on the independent circuit that we're able to put together cards like this. And we had AEW's World Heavyweight Champion Swerve Strickland. We had Wrestling Revolver former champion Mike Santana, Steve Macklin. We got the announcement on September 29th at House of Glory. Say his name. Yes, the one and only Joe Hendry will be at House of Glory. That is going to be very special because the fact that we are in 2024, we can have somebody like a Joe Hendry appear on NXT, WWE NXT, on Impact Wrestling, on House of Glory, on North Wrestling. It's just unbelievable that you're able to appear on WWE and other companies. This is the time to be a wrestling fan. So we're going to run down this card. There was a pre-show match. It was not on the stream on Thriller Plus. The pre-show match was the Cold-Blooded Killers, Jay Amari and Raheem Royal, going up against Rivality, MBM, and Ultra Zambrano. The Cold-Blooded Killers got the victory there. First match on the card was the Matt Travis Memorial Battle Royal. The winner of this got a shot at any title they want in House of Glory. We had Raheem Royal, Angel Jacquez, Ben Ruten, Billy M. Kidd, Corey Mack, Daron Richardson, Jay Amari, Jay Champagne, Jay Boujii, JJ Doze, Joey Silver, KB Pride, MBM, Mikey G, Mr. James, Oni King, Osito, Rochie Roach, Smith and Smoothie Blackmon, Toasty Tomm, and Ultra Zambrano was our Battle Royal. Holy snap. Joey Silver. I mean, it's funny, but when he comes out with a lollipop and just walks up and just sticks it in somebody's mouth, he did that to Jay Champagne, and the look on his face is like, what the hell, dude? Just your typical Battle Royal going for the #1 contender. The fact that Joey Silver put his body on the line to help Raheem Royal win was just wild in itself. The fact that part of the Cold-Blooded Killers won, that's going to come into play later because we know who the leader of the Cold-Blooded Killers is, the one and only Charles Mason. I give that 3.5. Then we had the House of Glory Cruiserweight title one. We had champion Gringo Loco going up against Kevin Knight. I love wrestlers like this who have a similar style, but they're completely different in that style. You get the Gringo Loco, you know, the Lucha Libre, the high flying. You look at Gringo going, yeah, okay, and he's one of the best luchadors out there, high flying wise. Kevin Knight, part of the Time Splitters in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's gotten the taste of House of Glory, and he's been some other places as well. A lot of New Japan, House of Glory, Wrestling Revolver, TNA. He's had a little bit of time in TNA earlier this year. So yeah, he's kind of that making that rounds throughout the independents. Young, talented kid. Again, similar styles, but completely different. A lot of high flying spots here. Gringo can get a little chair shot. They did a Spanish fly off the top rope. Yeah, Gringo hitting Kevin Knight with a chair behind the ref's back. You had just the two of them fighting on the outside. It just had a little bit of everything in this match. 17.5 minutes. Gringo Loco retaining his Cruiserweight title and then giving it 3 3/4 star. Next up, we had the House of Glory tag titles on the line. We had champions in the main event, Jay Lyon and Midas Black. And if you remember, a couple years ago, they actually beat the Briscoe brothers. Matter of fact, it was Jay Briscoe's last match. Main event beat the Briscoe brothers for the House of Glory tag titles. So, and then unfortunately later, that was in December of 22, and January of 23, we lost Jay Briscoe. Taking on the Cold-Blooded Killers, Charles Mason, Nolo Kitano. This match, holy crap. There was a couple times where I thought maybe it was dead. Jay Lyon did a moonsault off the top rope. You had just methodicalness of Charles Mason just literally trying to destroy everyone. Chair shots, the whole 9. They freaking took the rope off, the top turnbuckle off, and was trying to choke people out, choke main event out with it. Charles Mason was. Through all this, I thought the main event was going to be able to pull it out. Unfortunately, they did not pull it out. The new House of Glory Tag Team Champions in an I Quit match. Mind you, this was an I Quit match. So it was, all this stuff was legal. Yeah, it was just insane. Obviously Charles Mason, the methodical nature of his insanity is just second to none. 3 3/4 star with the Cold-Blooded Killers. Your new House of Glory Tag Team Champions. Charles Mason's name is going to be said once again later on. We had, next up, the House of Glory Crown Jewel title line. Champion Carlos Ramirez. He beat Charles Mason for that title, taking on Zilla Fatu. Zilla Fatu, part of the Fatu family, part of the bloodline. Zilla Fatu, 21 matches, I believe, now in professional wrestling. The vast majority of those with Game Changer Wrestling. He's had one with now House of Glory. This is House of Glory debut. He had one with Reality of Wrestling as well. This match was pretty damn good. Zilla Fatu, he looks like a very green Jacob Fatu in the ring. That's where I would place his ability at. So yeah, this was his 20th match. He had one with Reality of Wrestling, one with TSW Wrestling, and then there's another one, a couple more with House of Glory. Reality of Wrestling. So 17 with GCW. Now his first with House of Glory, a couple of Reality of Wrestling. So not a lot of professional wrestling matches for Zilla Fatu. Very green in the ring. Looks, again, I would put him in the same kind of category as Jacob Fatu. That kind of style. Obviously coming from that bloodline, you know, super kick striking is going to be a big deal. He's just got to work on the character part. The fact that he was able to go in here and beat Carlos Ramirez for the title, 3.5 star. Next up, we had Megan Bayne taking on Diamond Virgo. She had the Ultraviolet at ringside, the House of Glory Women's Champion. You saw Megan Bayne go out there and beat Diamond Virgo in 8.5 minutes. Now, Megan Bayne, just like Zilla Fatu, very green in the ring. She's had a lot, at least in the United States, she had a lot of Stardom stuff. But the fact that she wrestles a lot in the Northeast for Northeast Wrestling, for Beyond Wrestling, Wrestling Open, she's still learning. She came through OVW a long time ago, but obviously since COVID, that's when she left there. She's had a couple shots at Impact Wrestling. She was supposed to be on the radar of AEW. I'm not sure what happened with that. But Megan Bayne, she is, in my opinion, kind of like a green young Beth Phoenix. Kind of that glamazon, that larger than life, that, you know, going to go out there and put on good matches with good talent. Once she beat Diamond Virgo, she demanded her title shot. The Ultraviolet, who's been champion for, gosh, she had the title forever, I believe. Let's see here. She had a title for 671 days. Megan Bayne got her title shot. Bing, bam, boom. 13 seconds. Your new House of Glory Women's Champion, Megan Bayne. That was impressive to see how quick she beat the Ultraviolet. I give it a quarter star. My kind of rule with that is matches like that, if it's a cash-in, so like it's Money in the Bank cash-in, or if it's a brass ring cash-in, those are 0 star. There's no reason to rate those. When the match starts and you don't realize it's going to last 13 seconds, I give a minimum of a quarter star. So I give a quarter star to this one. Next up, we had the House of Glory World Heavyweight title line. We had champion Mike Santana taking on Steve Macklin, a couple of TNA stars, a couple of Warrior Wrestling Revolver stars. Two guys that love the fight, and that's what we had here was a fight. Drop down, drag out, New York City street fight. I love fights like this, two guys like this. I mean, the last time Steve Macklin was in a street fight, he fought literally in the middle of the street during WrestleMania weekend. Literally, they had to stop traffic because of the fight in the middle of the street. We ended up getting a 13-minute match here. Mike Santana retaining his House of Glory Heavyweight title. 3.5 star. And then we got it. Then we got Raheem Royal coming out with his contract in hand. Came out with the Cold-Blooded Killers. Charles Mason, the leader of that. We saw Raheem Royal hand over his contract to one and only Charles Mason. So Mike Santana's like, let's go now. And Charles Mason, as methodical as he is, was like, no. I'm going to hold on to this. You're going to have to wait. You're not going to know when. You're not going to know how. But I'm coming for you. I have lived a little bit. It was longer than that, but that was the gist of what it was. So we now know that from the Matt Travis Memorial Battle Royal, Raheem Royal won it. He gave the contract to the Cold-Blooded Killers leader, Charles Mason, who will be cashing in at some point on the champion Mike Santana, as long as Mike Santana is still champion. Their main event was the founder of House of Glory, Amazing Red, former TNA TNA X Division champion, one of the leaders of the X Division, taking on AEW World Heavyweight Champion Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. So yeah, seeing Swerve Strickland, Prince Nana at House of Glory with the AEW World Heavyweight title, that's the part about, and also Flash Garments was out there with them as well. That's the part about the independent scene that I like, that I get up for, is seeing AEW World Heavyweight Champion, former TNA champions. We have, all these champions from other companies in this melting pot of that Northeast territory. I've called New York part of that Northeast territory. House of Glory is part of that, along with Wrestling Open, Beyond Wrestling, Limitless Wrestling, Live Pro Wrestling, Northeast Wrestling. I'm leaving a ton out because there's a ton of companies up here that I follow. Just seeing these champions from other companies come in, knowing Gringo Loco from GCW, knowing Megan Bayne, currently GCW, Zilla Fatu, GCW. Seeing the main event win the titles by beating the Briscoes. Now we have the Cold-Blooded Killers as title. That's what I love about pro wrestling. But Swerve, Amazing Red, an amazing match. Swerve kicked out of Code Red. Amazing Red hit Code Red. Normally that gets it 1-2. Swerve kicks out. Swerve went to do his jump backwards kick thing that he does. Amazing Red ducked out of the way. Just that kind of, and Red hit the one of his other big moves. He literally emptied the clip. He emptied every move he has ever done in his career on this match. Still could not get the best of Swerve Strickland. Finally, 21 minutes in, Swerve Strickland, your AEW World Heavyweight Champion, gets the pinfall victory over Amazing Red. I give it a 4-star. Absolutely amazing main event. Swerve Strickland right now, one of the top professional wrestling wrestlers in in wrestling. So overall, top to bottom, House of Glory, high intensity, great show. So again, 9/29, September 29th, House of Glory, Say His Name, Joe Henry, TNA star, NXT star will be there. I'm trying to review as many of these House of Glory shows as I can this year. I've done a couple already. So definitely, if you've never watched House of Glory, go check it out. I've been following for quite a number of years now. As always, thanks for watching Robert Sports Show, from the independent scene to the main event of WrestleMania. Don't just have a great day, have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports content.